shut my eyes. I went to bed asleep with my f***ing eyes open. That's how locked in I am.
Philadelphia Eagles are world champions.
Hey, got it! Yeah!
Let's go, Philly! Woo! KJ and I out here.
You are now listening to the Appreciate Your Input podcast with host Dalton Holland. A proud 302 Birds podcast experience. Now let's take it to the show.
What's up, everybody? I am back with the Appreciate Your Input podcast. Appreciate you guys letting me take a little bit of a much-needed vacation. I actually went out to the Dominican Republic, the Caribbean for the first time, had never been there. So that was a bunch of fun. Congratulations to Natalie and Liam. Their wedding was amazing. It was a great trip and honestly a ton of fun, much needed. But that is why I wasn't on the show last week. Also, last weekend was Memorial Day. So just figured with it being a holiday and everybody having off the work the next day, you guys were probably all at bars or doing other reasonable things, I would imagine. So who knows? But we got an awesome show for you guys. It's going to be a ton of fun. We're talking about what is the best, as you guys can see, I had some for dinner. But what is the best Italian dish of all time overall? Phillies lose 4 in a row. We got Chaos Chris here to help me break that down. Then I'm going to be talking about why Saquon Barkley is the #1 running back in the NFL, which is pretty understood. Some athletically underappreciated sports, Bryce Huff going, and a couple more things. But let's get into it because, like I said, I'm sick. So I'm going to do my best effort to stay as live for you guys as long as I can with that great personality. Jack and Frank, though, are also going live tonight at 9:05 with Dylan for Weekends Last Beer. So make sure you guys tune into that because that show is going to be hilarious and it's the debut of the show. So I want to see a packed house tonight for that show. But let's get ahead into our first dish. And I had to bring like Pawn Stars, like a food expert onto the show. Yeah. I had to bring Hey Rula chicken reviews on the show. Amir, how you doing?
I'm good. What about you?
Dude, I'm great. So the question of the night, and obviously why I brought you on the show, what is your favorite Italian dish of all time, Amir?
Okay. It might be the most easy answer. It might be the most popular answer, but is the right answer. You know what that is? Pizza. Let me tell you why. You can have it for lunch, dinner, breakfast if you even want it, and you can for sure have it for dessert. They got Nutella pizzas out there. You can have for every meal. It's the most versatile dish. You can never have enough. There's even challenges where you eat a whole pizza. That's a thing for a reason. Do you know what I mean? Because pizza, everybody loves pizza. I never met a single person that doesn't like pizza. Even if you're vegan, there's vegan pizzas. There's a pizza for every person.
Now, how do you feel about, pizza is a fair answer because the versatility, I get what you're saying. But every Italian from Sicily is probably choking right now because you didn't say pasta. If there was a pasta that you had to pick, a pasta dish, what would you pick?
I'm taking chicken parm. Because, pasta is very carb heavy. So, you want to have a little bit of protein in there. And who doesn't like chicken? High Ruler Chicken House, it's retired now. It's one and done reviews now. But who doesn't like chicken? And it got the sauce. It's got the cheese. Woo! Top 5 dishes. Italy, 100%. Top 5 dishes, maybe. Great meal.
I like that answer. So, obviously, you guys can see KJ in here. He said chicken parm. He had some tonight. Chris, same answer, chicken parm. My personal answer, I can't say chicken parm because one time when I was younger, everybody has their food that makes their tummy upset. Or I puked when I was a kid when I had chicken parm. So that shit's on my shit list forever. If it was up to me, I'd probably have to say chicken franchise, chicken marsala, anything with chicken probably for me. That's why chicken parm is great. I'm just not a huge tomato sauce guy. Vodka sauce, penny alla vodka, toss some chicken in there. Amazing. But I know what my girlfriend's saying. I tried to get her to come on the show tonight. Unfortunately, she wasn't available. Her answer is, and I'm going to try my best to pronounce it, gnocchi, if that's how a true Italian says it, right?
I'm not
Italian.
No.
Yeah, so you wouldn't know either. There you go. That's why we had the pizza answer for all the Italians out there that are getting mad in the chat. He's not Italian, so you can't hate the
But
guy. Okay?
I review food, so I know what I'm talking about. So my opinion is better than everybody in Italy. Play this when the Pope's talking behind him. He'll be like, oh, this guy knows what he's talking about.
I'm with Chris. Gnocchi alla vodka, same thing. If I said it right that time, I hope I did. Very good dish when it's done right. Like, same thing. If you get a meat with any kind of vodka sauce and pasta, I feel like it's elite when it's done right. I mean, that's just kind of growing up around here. Of course, we think that. Dennis, what's going on? Chris, see, I told you, Amir, the real Italians were going to come for you in the chat. But do you have, all right, here's a bonus answer just because we got a little bit of extra time. Do you have a favorite Italian dessert?
I was thinking about this. I gotta think about what really is an Italian dessert because there's so many good desserts out there, and I just don't think Italy holds up as one of the main houses. Except, I take that back. Gelato is probably the best Italian one, just because I'm gonna say this is kind of like what I said for pizza. It's so versatile. There's so many things, and I don't like rainbow cookies. Those are not good.
Oh my God, every Italian is cringing right now in the chat. I'm with Chris, same thing. He's 2 for 2. Cannoli. Like the cannoli, I almost got it last night for dessert, but they had a raspberry lemonade cake. That was literally what it was called at the Italian restaurant we went to. And I'm like, okay, I feel like my girlfriend will have a bite of that. But there's nothing wrong with now I kind of want a cannoli. Now I'm craving one, like a good cannoli, especially with like a coffee. And the older you get, like an alcoholic coffee, put some Baileys in with it. You are kicking it then. But that's one of my favorites. And KJ McCoy asking me to bash JJ Segalo about the Knicks. JJ Segalo, man, it was a good run while it lasted, but New York Knicks go back to where they belong, which is an irrelevant franchise. I guess tonight is the night. Oh, no, never mind. It ended yesterday. Jesus. And you guys got the shit beaten out of you. 125 to 108. God bless you, JJ, and God bless your fandom in the Knicks. Maybe, just maybe, it was Matt Baer's fault for changing his teams. I mean, now all the bad luck's going to go on you guys, and we get the onus off us. It's the Matt Baer curse of the NBA. Do you know Matt Baer yet, Amir?
I know who Matt Baer is. I know he'd like to talk a lot about Italian dishes out here. You should have brought him. He would have better understanding, big guy. Think of cannolis, like the guy said before. I don't consider it Italian. I consider it the New York. They took it over. And, I can't like it because, it'd be like liking the Giants. So you can't do that. Because Sopranos, they're like, we live in New York. We like the Giants. We eat cannolis. And I don't like that.
All right, fuck it. I'm with it, dude. I like cannolis. I would say it's Italian. But Amir, I appreciate you for joining us. Please let the people know where they can give you a follow too, my brother.
If you want sports content, Amir 302 Burrs. But if you want food content, because we know I have the best food reviews around here, around town in Delaware and out of Delaware. One and done reviews. It's me and my dad trying places.
For sure. Thank you for joining us, Amir.
Go eat some good food. Go Birds.
Go Birds. All right, so I'm going to bring a true Italian on the show real quick and let him answer this before we get into the Phillies topic. Let's hear your 2 answers. First, your dish, and then your dessert.
All right, so, yes, I'm a true Italian, but I'm allergic to cheese. So, hold off a little bit on me because I'm not as well-versed as everybody. But chicken parm me, at least it's a chicken cutlet for me. But a chicken cutlet with pasta is the best Italian dish in my opinion. And it's really not close. Like, whenever I can get that at any Italian restaurant, and 95% of the time, it's perfect. It's great. Dessert, it's a little bit harder for me because, I did comment cannoli before, but I can't eat cannolis. So,
it's a good answer.
Pizzelles are my favorite because they're the ones that I can have. But at Christmas time, a pizzelle is perfect. The anise in there, wonderful. But honestly, you can't go wrong with spaghetti and meatballs. You can't go wrong with, a pizza. I can't have the cheese on it. But there's so many Italian dishes that are absolutely great. Italian food to me is probably the best. I'm a little homerish, but Italian food to me, probably the best.
I'm
Also,
with you, dude.
you can't underestimate a cheesesteak from an Italian restaurant.
That is very true. So when I was at St. Joe's, there was a place, it was a pizza place, Italian restaurant, the whole nine. Best cheesesteak around. Like the versatility of those places, you're right. Like there's nothing better than an Italian man sweating his ass off over a grill. You know that food's about to be delicious with that wife beater on and those sweat stains.
Give me that little bit of sweat, that salty in there. We'll take that. Season
There
it.
you go. But hey, you know who looked like they didn't sweat at all this weekend, Chris? Our Philadelphia Phillies, man. Losing 4 in a row. I love the face drop because that's exactly how we felt this weekend, right?
Bro, I'm so fucking tired of talking about these losers. I don't give a shit about their record. They suck. I'm tired of it. The team just falls apart as soon as any decent team comes to town. They get destroyed by the Mets. They get destroyed by the fucking Brewers. It's disgusting to watch. I'm glad I was on the golf course all day and didn't get to watch it. Like, it's just annoying to watch. The whole team is not in sync. The pitching sucks. The hitting sucks. It's all a mess.
Yeah, they're absolutely disgraceful this weekend, and I get why people were upset because it's not the Philadelphia Phillies that were advertised. We were told by Don Browski, right? Hey, this team's going to be different. Hey, this attitude's going to be different. Hey, they aren't going to make as many mistakes. And it feels like, yeah, they have a couple good. They're an overall great team. Don't get me wrong. They're going to bounce back. They will. But my issue with them is it feels like, okay, here's the big series in front of us. Here's the chance to really get ahead, right? Really get ahead of the Mets. Really get that comfort zone. And they just fumble. And then they give up first place and get swept. Horrible.
Yeah, it's embarrassing. Just like all aspects of it. We still don't know what the hell's going on with Bryce Harper. He got hit by a pitch and still isn't back. Like, is he coming back? Who knows? Hey, they said he hasn't even swung a bat yet. Why is he not on the IL? Why is somebody not up from AAA? What is going on with this team? It's just like the mismanagement. It's been going on for years now. What is happening? Like, I'm just tired of it. You keep wasting and wasting and wasting these years of good, talented teams. This team has talent, top to bottom, starting pitching in the bullpen. The lineup is good, top to bottom. Why is this team not better than what they are? I know what the record says, but then this team goes and plays a real team like the Brewers, like the Mets, like the Braves, and get exposed for who they really are. They just have no sort of enthusiasm out there at all, no sort of energy. It's a shitty team right now. I'm really getting tired of it. I'm tired of talking about the team. Like it's starting to turn into the Sixers all over again for me.
I totally get your frustration, man. I know. Shout out to Broads. If you guys don't know, Broads is an awesome personality on WIP and in the radio around here. And it's very rare that Broads will curse in his videos, but he does from time to time, just like we all do. We probably do it more often. For God fucking sake, I did it in the intro in the first 3 seconds of the video, dropping the F-bomb. But point is, the funny thing with Broads is he's like, what the fuck? And that was literally his reaction. He's like, no, what the fuck? And it's like, that's how I think a lot of Philly fans feel right now. And I'm not saying you guys are wrong. I'm just saying give it 3 more games. If they fumble the bag, okay, you are totally right to feel that way. But this is just one series. I think that the Brewers are also a really tough team. They were somebody that I thought last year, I wouldn't have been shocked if they kind of nestled their way into the World Series. They didn't, but I still think that they're a tough, gritty team. So I'll really be excited to see how do they bounce back because they have an off day tomorrow. Get some rest, reset, and then come back, I guess, Tuesday and really play some good baseball because I believe they'll be on the road, correct? They go to the Blue Jays, is it?
Yeah, they go to Toronto, which apparently we're not going to the game Monday because it's in Toronto and they're not playing. So there's a whole nother story. But yeah, they're going on the road and, Toronto's not a great team either. So hopefully they'll figure it out. But I have no faith in this roster. I have no faith in this management. Just it's really getting annoying to watch.
Feels like the same product again and again. And that's why I get your comparison to the Sixers. It definitely resonates because it's like, hey, we're going to tell you something that'll be different. And then it's not different at all. It really isn't. So hopefully this Phillies team will get their shit together. We'll see. Anything that you're looking out for in this Blue Jays series before we wrap up this topic?
I'm really excited to see Mick Abel come back up. I saw they called him back up. He's going to pitch Thursday. I think it's his job now in the starting rotation, and I think he is very talented. And I think, everybody gives Painter all the credit in the world because he's ranked so much higher. But for the longest time, Mick Abel and Andrew Painter were neck and neck, and I think Andrew Painter's got just as much talent as Mick Abel. So we'll see what happens there, but I'm really excited to see Mick Abel, and he had one really good start already. We'll see where the rest of his season takes him, but I think he's a guy you're going to see in the rotation for years to come. And maybe they have something there. Maybe they can go trade Ranger Suarez and get some talent, or I don't know, maybe Taijuan Walker, they can finally get rid of him and get rid of that contract. Who knows? We'll see what happens there, but I'm really excited to see Mick Abel pitch.
Yeah, it'll be exciting to see how he develops because he really has been such a gem prospect for our Philadelphia Phillies. So definitely agree with that. Looking out for it. But Chris, appreciate you joining me, brother. Hope you have a good night, man.
You too. Go Phils.
Go Phils. Hopefully we bring the Phillies some more good luck. Stay tuned on that. But this was something I quickly wanted to talk about. And I didn't do a Wheel of Wonder this week. I should have. That's on me. But just pretend that that's like the top 8 running backs in the NFL. And at the end of the day, it rolls on Saquon Barkley. All right? Just pretend. Point is, PFF made a list of their top running backs in the NFL. And I found this hilarious. Now, they did give respect where it's due to Saquon Barkley. But Saquon Barkley, of their highest graded running backs of 2024, they have like a little chart. He's not even on the top 5. Bucky Irving fucking made it, which is nuts to me. Bucky Irving also cracked the top 8 on this list. But number 1 is Derrick Henry. Number 2 is Saquon Barkley. Number 3 is Bijan Robinson. 4, Jahmyr Gibbs. 5, Josh Jacobs. 6, wow, holy fuck, he wasn't even set. Well, I guess I get it. Let's restart this. Hold on. Gotta get my sickness out of my face for this one. Number 1, Derrick Henry from the Baltimore Ravens. Number 2, our own Saquon Barkley from the Philadelphia Eagles. 3, Bijan Robinson from the Atlanta Falcons. That's pretty well deserved. 4, Jahmyr Gibbs from the Detroit Lions. 5, Josh Jacobs from the Green Bay Packers. Once again, pretty well deserved. Had a 93.0 PFF rushing grade over the past 3 seasons, which is great. Only second to Derrick Henry. 6, Bucky Irving from the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. He definitely made a name for himself this year, not just fantasy football-wise. 7, Christian McCaffrey. Doesn't even play a snap, really. If he did, I don't really remember it. And he still is up there, which I guess is fair. 8, James Conner from the Arizona Cardinals is a fascinating name that he made it. Devin Achane is 9 from the Miami Dolphins. And 10 is Kyron Williams from the LA Rams. Ashton Genty is number 13. James Cook is 12. Jonathan Taylor's all the way back at 14. I don't know how I feel about this list, but what I will say, the fact that it is not evident to you and obvious to you that Saquon Barkley is the best in the NFL is crazy to me. He had the most runs of 10-plus yards or more last year with 55. 55 runs with 10-plus more yards. That's a first down and more. Like, this dude is a machine. Productivity beast. So the fact that other teams and other franchises will compare him or say that he's worse, that blows my mind because it's not even close, honestly. Saquon Barkley is hands down the best running back in the NFL. Derrick Henry's 2. Bijan Robinson, I'm fine with 3. And honestly, I'd probably put Josh Jacobs above Jahmyr Gibbs. Argue with the wall if you don't like that. I don't care. There is one position that I've watched a long time, and it's running back, and I definitely feel very confident in those positions. Who do I think that the Phillies should trade for? That would have been a question more for Chris. If he's still here, he can definitely answer it in the comments. I'll put it up. But if not, I'm going to keep it moving. Conrad, sorry, I just want to keep the show running. But, yeah, best running back in the NFL. If you're not going to say Derrick Henry or Saquon, that's where it gets interesting. I'm fine with Bijan, and I'm fine with Josh Jacobs right now. Christian McCaffrey, I don't think has it anymore. I don't think you can put him on that list. I'm sorry. You got to play the game to be able to be featured. I'm sorry. If you don't like me saying it, it's the brutal truth. So, yeah, Saquon Barkley, hands down the best running back in the NFL. The Philadelphia Eagles just have a gene for breeding good running backs. Growing up for us, Brian Westbrook, LaShawn McCoy. Then there was a little bit of a transition period, but they still had great, arguable names. LeGarrette Blount was a huge force for that team on the Super Bowl era. Miles Sanders, great player. Saquon Barkley, though, come on. I mean, that was the generational talent. That was the guy who I think is by far the best Eagles running back of all time. Up there with Jalen Hurts as the best Eagles QB of all time. Up there with A.J. Brown as the best Eagles wide receiver of all time. My friends, we are living in the golden era of Eagles football right now. Enjoy it, relish it, have fun with it, because God knows how long it will last. But moving on now to our next topic, which is something I was thinking about this week. What do you guys think is an athletically underappreciated sport? What I mean by that, a sport that doesn't get the attention it should for the difficulty that it takes or the patience that it takes. Obviously, I put golf and hockey as my top two. Boxing is another one, but I think boxing somewhat gets the attention. Just doesn't get the good attention, right? The Paul brothers don't count, okay, assholes? Point being, I think one of the most athletically underappreciated sports, in my opinion, is hockey. Hockey, hands down. You got to skate. You got to control a puck. Well, a guy's coming at you, trying to knock you over. And then on top of that, you got to keep the puck with you. And then on top of that, you got to put the puck in a net that's not that big of a net. And then on top of that, you got to put the puck in a net with a guy that's about as big as the net trying to block the puck. Come on. Are you going to tell me that you don't need to be athletically gifted to do that? It's also a hugely cardio sport. It takes up a lot of time. It's a lot on your body. The guys who play hockey are always in great shape. Why? Because it's a great workout. You got all those pads on you and you're going up and down the ice. And getting that momentum, getting that movement with your skates takes a lot of power out of your legs. So it's a great lower body workout too. Golf, however, I think is a fun one. Golf, I'm learning the importance of. And here's a free advertisement. If you guys aren't doing anything tonight at 9:05, up in a few minutes, Weekend's Last Beer is going to be making its debut on the network. If you play golf, go check out that show later tonight. It's a hilarious podcast hosted by Frank, Jack, and Dylan. And they're going to be talking about everything golf, Phillies sports, bros, everything. It's a great podcast. You're going to want to tune in. But one of the most athletically underappreciated sports, I think, that goes hand in hand with hockey is golf. Golf takes a lot of patience. Golf isn't as difficult as hockey, but it's still very difficult. It takes years to get good at golf. It takes hundreds of shots, maybe not years, but it takes months. You're going to have to be dedicated. You're going to have to be critical of yourself. You're going to have to be willing to make mistakes and okay with that. But if you are, golf will come to you. It will be a rewarding sport. It is fun. When you finally get your shot down and you finally hit that shot and it feels crisp and you feel that club make that noise, whoo, it's one of the rushes in life. And I'm sure that that's the same thing for hockey. So my most athletically underappreciated sports, that should have also been the wheel. Could have put all the sports on there. It's got to be golf. Or I'm sorry, it's got to be hockey. Number one, golf number two. Sorry, I appreciate you guys bearing with me. Like I said, I'm still getting over a pretty bad cold. It's been a ton of fun after vacation. But last but not least on the show tonight, we're going to be talking about Bryce Huff going to the 49ers. Great riddance, honestly. Because what's the second part of this? Who comes? I got a couple names for you. I think that they're going to try to bring in a veteran pass rusher just to shake things up, just to see what he can teach the younger guys towards the end. And I don't think that's a bad idea. I think that's a good thing. Someone maybe like Khalil Mack. Someone maybe like Von Miller, right? Von Miller still wants to play. 36 years old, still has plenty left in the tank. I mean, I don't think he started last year, but he still played in 13 games and he had 6 sacks. So Duke can still play. But getting Bryce Huff off this team, I am so happy about. This is amazing that Howie Roseman did this. Like, fantastic that he got him out of here. I'm thrilled by it. And honestly, long overdue. Because he just wasn't a guy who wanted to play on this team. Sorry, once again, still getting over a cold, and talking 25 minutes straight is not easy. I love MJS in here saying it's not even close. I love it, man. I'm with it. But yeah, as Dobbin said, Huff was useless. He was a paperweight. So the fact that he's gone now and his attitude problem is not going to be a cancer to this locker room is huge. Devin White, same thing. He didn't work out. The funny thing is, I would have thought that Bryce Huff would have had a different attitude, right? I really did. He's getting a free Super Bowl ring out of the Philadelphia Eagles. I really would have thought, because he's probably going to brag about that ring and wear it, you know what I mean? Like, he's going to be like, "Ooh, look, I got one of these." Because of that, I thought he would have talked about the team in more of a positive light and a positive aspect. Nope, not at all. No. He just literally was like, on IG, he hit us with the deuces, and I think it's disrespectful. I really do. I'm not one to get upset about that kind of stuff or get angry, but to me, in my opinion, that was a disrespectful gesture towards the team that you're probably going to brag about your Super Bowl ring. You're probably going to wear it. And unless you're willing to sell that Super Bowl ring because you really don't want it, because you didn't earn it, we all know that. You know it, we know it. That's why you're salty about it. Unless you're willing to sell that ring, I don't think that post is valid, which I doubt that you're going to do. I really do. I don't see that happening. So in my opinion, Bryce Huff really has no right to complain. Good riddance. See you, buddy. Get that bad attitude out of here. We don't need any of that bad mojo. This team has got way bigger fish to fry and great things to conquer. Who knows? They could bring a guy with a great attitude in. Von Miller, Khalil Mack. I don't know what other free agent pass rushers are still out there, but I'm sure that there's still a couple names out there. They definitely can find somebody. But all in all, the fact that Huff is gone and another team is taking on most of that capital, the dumbass 49ers, woo! Bravo, Howie. Well done. Like a fucking master dealer back there. I know E-Rock shared a meme of Howie like freaking Wolf of Wall Street, which made me laugh my ass off because that is probably what it looked like, the deal. Hey, Robert Saleh, you want this guy that you had 10 sacks? And I do want to say, in all fairness, I wouldn't be shocked if Huff balls out, right? When Barnett left, he wasn't a bad player with the Texans. I would not be shocked if Huff ends up having a decent year. The reason is, it's an old coach that he has chemistry with. He had 10 sacks before. It's not easy to get 10 sacks in the NFL. If you're getting 10 sacks in a season, you're doing something right. So I do think that they will get the better to come out of him. I just think he didn't want to be a Philadelphia Eagle. He gave up on this team week 4. And then he just so happened to win a Super Bowl with this team. Really weird scenario for him. But that's not our fault. Sorry, buddy. Get a better attitude. That's all I got for you guys. A little bit shorter of a show. I apologize. Still getting over a cold. I'm going to have a better one next week for you guys and some more guests. But if you're not doing anything tonight, please, please, please do me a favor. 9:05. Come back to the channel. Tune in to Weekend's Last Beer. Just drop a hello. Say what's up to Jack, Frank, and Dylan. They're going to be doing their show, holding it down. And very excited to watch that. But my name is Dalton Holland from 302 Birds. And as always, I appreciate your input. Have a good week.
Yeah! Let's go, Phillies! Woo!
KJ and I out here.
You are now listening to the Appreciate